This is San Francisco Bay, 8 million people, the richest region on Earth. And almost every tech campus here is built on filled-in water. By 2050, in this projection, the bay has risen 2 feet. Meta floods. Google isolates. Foster City is gone. Here's how. Start with a secret. 2 centuries ago, this was all marsh. Tidal flats twice as wide as today's bay. Then we built skyscrapers. Take Meta's headquarters, 1 hack away. It sits on 1970s landfill, 2 meters above the sea, behind a grass levee older than most employees. The San Francisco Bay Area runs on trillions of dollars in tech wealth. Want to guess what fraction it spends defending itself from the water? Almost nothing. Here's what the campus tours skip. Most of Silicon Valley sits on landfill, garbage dumped in the bay. Now the bay wants it back. Apple picked higher ground. Apple Park sits up in the Cupertino Hills, safe from the sea, but it traded one threat for another, wildfire. Google saw the maps. Then Google spent $3 billion buying 70 buildings in the flood zone anyway. Their own SEC filing admits the risk. 2 numbers, side by side. Meta spent $7,000 on flood control. East Palo Alto, next door, spent $5.5 million, 13% of budget. And then there's Foster City, 34,000 people, built on dredged mud in 1971. Every single home sits below the floodline. San Francisco had a secret weapon, the fog. Carl, they call it. Down 1/3 since the 50s. Now summers hit 116. Meet the Morales family. East Palo Alto, 3 generations, 8 feet above the sea. Across the highway sits Meta. Guess which one floods first. But in 2026, something strange happens. $122 billion in AI money pours into a region that's actually still shrinking. That's the paradox at the center of this story. The money came roaring back. The people didn't. An AI boom inside a city emptying out. The water makes its first move in 2028. Meta shuts its campus for the first time ever. A king tide reaches the parking lots. Watch what Google does next. Quietly, it spends $4 billion on higher ground. Its newest campus stands on stilts. The buildings know what executives won't, and it's all there in writing. Alphabet Inc.'s own SEC filing admits the headquarters faces sea level risk. The lawyers confessed what the marketing team denies. By 2030, the insurers just leave. State Farm, Allstate, Farmers Insurance, all gone from the Bayshore. Foster City's only option costs $34,000 yearly. Then the airport starts going under. San Francisco International Airport floods. Runway 28 closing with tides. The fix costs $7 billion. Do nothing, it's lost by 45. Meet Priya Nadkarni, a Meta engineer. Her job? Keep the campus dry. Her levee rebuild request? Pending 3 years. Her home sinks too. The rich read the same maps you're reading. Lake Tahoe real estate jumps 280%, bought by tech executives quietly building their escape. Here's the bill nobody wants. The bay needs a $110 billion seawall. Big tech, worth $7 trillion, offers $400 million. The math just stays broken. That winter, East Palo Alto floods. 340 people lose their homes. Across the highway, Meta stays dry. Same water, very different defenses. And here the hard choice arrives. Saving Silicon Valley costs $190 billion. Only 23 is funded. Someone has to decide what drowns. Meta decides quietly. It moves the real work to Austin. Menlo Park empties from 17,000 people to under 7. The headquarters becomes a shell. Even the safe suburbs weren't safe. Marin County's waterfront floods again and again. Lifting a single house costs $740,000. And the exodus becomes a stampede. 34 major tech companies leave the Bay Area. Austin wins. Seattle wins. 1/3 of Silicon Valley sits empty. Apple Park survives on its hill. But watch what survival costs. The roads to it flood. The campus stays dry while the commute drowns. Remember the Morales family? After 3 generations, they finally leave. 1/3 of East Palo Alto is abandoned. The water always takes the poor first. By 2038, the numbers turn brutal. The San Francisco Bay Area drops to 7 million. 41 tech firms gone. 31,000 homes lost. It's speeding up. Then Foster City, built on mud, orders its first ever mandatory evacuation. The levee holds, barely. Residents finally understand what they built on. And Priya, the engineer who tried to save it all, she leaves for Austin too. Her levee never approved. Her own flooded home behind her. By 2040, the crossover is complete. Austin has 720,000 tech jobs. The San Francisco Bay Area, 410,000. Silicon Valley becomes history. Here's the cruelest part. The winners build compounds on high ground. Below them, the suburbs drown. The boom lifted a few. Water took the rest. San Francisco makes its choice with concrete. A $6 billion seawall saves downtown. The suburbs get nothing. The city saved its core and surrendered its edges. Even the trains flood. Bay Area Rapid Transit's Transbay Tube, built in 1969, fills with water. The $4 billion fix isn't funded. The region's arteries are failing. By 2043, the Bay Area has lost 1.5 million people. Tech jobs collapsed from 1 million to 360,000. Silicon Valley half empty. And now, the whole world is watching and learning. The lesson is brutal and short. Wealth could not outrun water. Elevation decided everything. Then comes the winter of 2044. The Foster City levee fails in 3 places. The city, built on dredged mud, returns to the bay. Watch who drowns next. Bayview Hunters Point, a historically black neighborhood on a poisoned old shipyard. It floods. Downtown stays dry behind its wall. And Google's campus finally goes under, all but one building. The Bayview campus, built on stilts, stays dry. That architecture told the truth. Here's the number that ends every argument. Federal spending on the Bay, $290 billion. Property losses, over $1 trillion. No version ends cheap. But something unexpected happens in the ruins. Engineers stop fighting the water. Where campuses stood, they rebuild the marsh. Not walls, wetlands. It works. By 2046, the San Francisco Bay Area has a new top industry. Not tech anymore. Climate adaptation. 140,000 people managing the retreat. And the politics change with it. San Francisco elects Mayor Elena Solis on one promise. Her slogan says everything. We stop pretending. We start planning. Then Treasure Island goes. An artificial island built on fill in 1937, finally abandoned. 110 years of borrowed land handed back. The city that remains climbs uphill, literally. San Francisco consolidates onto its hills. Survivors looking down at marsh where their neighborhoods used to be. And here's the strangest sight of all. The flooded metacampus becomes a kayak tour. The giant thumbs-up sculpture stands in 3 feet of bay. By 2048, managing the disaster is permanent. The Federal Resilience Authority will never close. The slow catastrophe didn't end. It became a career. But the water signed no agreement. By 49, the bay is 9 inches higher. The seawall holds, for now. 2050 isn't the finish line. So here's the Bay Area in 2050. Downtown defended on the hills. Silicon Valley underwater. The bay wider than it's been since 1850. San Francisco 2050. 5.8 million people. Silicon Valley underwater. 310 billion spent. The richest region on Earth couldn't outrun the water. And yet, the city's still here. Smaller, dense on its hills, the flatlands gone to marsh. San Francisco stopped pretending. That's why it survived. Look at what Silicon Valley became. Marsh again. Shorebirds where the campuses stood. Seals on the mudflats. The bay healed the wound its own way. Apple Park is the last great campus standing, saved by its hill. But now it's ringed with wildfire defenses. There was never anywhere safe. The Bay Area that's left lives high above the water, 5.8 million people. A smaller region, one that finally treats the bay as neighbor. And every drowning coastal city now studies this place. Miami, Jakarta, Lagos, Shanghai. The richest region's failure became the textbook nobody wanted to write. The fog still rolls in. Thinner now, but still here, like the city itself. Smaller than it was, but stubbornly, unmistakably, still San Francisco. Don't mistake this for an ending. By 2070, the bay rises a foot. By 2100, 3 more. The high city faces the math, and a new generation is already at work. The kids born after the boom don't build apps, they build shoreline, working with the bay. So remember what was lost. The valley drowned, half the people left, but the bridge stands, the fog still comes, the hills hold a city. Mayor Solis kept her promise and left office. She won by saying what nobody would: the water wins. Her legacy, a smaller city alive. Because Silicon Valley was always a fiction, that you could fill a bay and it would simply forget. It didn't forget, it just waited. San Francisco, 2050, 5.8 million people. The water keeps rising, another foot by 2070. The slow disaster goes on, it never ends.